Good evening, Dr. Guwa. This is Jasmine Johnson, and I'm presenting Uber Technologies Incorporated. The items that will be discussed include the company background, the industry, competitors, how Uber works, challenges, expansion, conclusion, and lastly, the references. Company background. The idea for Uber came about in 2008 when Travis Kalanick met Garrett Camp at a startup conference called the Web Summit in Paris. They had a difficult time finding a cab and came up with a brilliant idea: tap a button and get a ride. Kalanick felt that this company would create a flexible way for people to earn money and quick access to transportation. March 2009, Uber is founded as UberCab, a black car service. Garrett Camp, Oscar Salazar, and Conrad Willem built the first version. June 2010, Uber launches in San Francisco. At this moment, it cost about 1.5 times as much as a cab, but you could request a car in San Francisco by simply pressing a button. May 2011, Uber launches in New York City, which today is one of the biggest and most controversial markets. Uber has provided more than 82,000 rides in New York City since 2011. December 2011, Uber expanded internationally, starting with Paris. By the end of 2011, the company changed its name from UberCab to Uber Technologies Incorporated. Uber has since spread its operations to over 400 cities in 65 countries. A little history of the founders. Travis Kalanick is a native from California who dropped out of UCLA in 1998 to found Score Incorporated, a multimedia search engine which soon had to declare itself bankrupt to protect against copyright infringement lawsuits. And Garrett Camp, a Canadian entrepreneur. He co-founded StumbleUpon, a web discovery platform that grew to over 25 million registered users while in graduate school. Industry. According to Uber, it's simply a technology company that operates in the technology industry. This is due to them creating an application that simply links drivers and riders together at a click of a button. By changing its name from UberCab to Uber, it has avoided many regulations that it would have received if it was a taxi company. It also classifies its drivers as independent contractors. Uber is the world's most highly valued private company that has reached 50 billion valuations in 3 years, which is faster than any other startup company other than Facebook. It is certainly an industry leader. Competitors. Uber doesn't see anyone as a competitor, but there are two distinct companies that have duplicated Uber's business model: Sidecar and Lyft. Both Sidecar and Lyft are based out of San Francisco and consist of 3 services. Sidecar and Lyft both provide personal rides and carpooling. The difference between the two is that Sidecar offers a delivery system, while Lyft has a 365-day system where a driver is at your location every day to take you from point A to point B. The way Uber works is very simple. You download the application and create an account where you are required to put in your credit card information. This allows no cash to be exchanged between the rider and driver. You then request an Uber by clicking one button. You input your destination, where you are then able to see the arrival time of your Uber. Driver arrives and your destination is linked through GPS to the driver's phone. At the end, the driver hits en route, where you electronically charged and given a detailed receipt on your smartphone. Both the rider and driver are able to rate the experience. Uber faces many challenges. First, we'll begin by explaining the taxi regulations. Uber avoids background checks, active acknowledgement of the city, bypasses an exam, and safety training that normal taxi services go through. Secondly, Uber bypasses taxes. If Uber is dismissed as being a technology company, governments can argue that the entire ride payment is revenue for Uber and subject to city and state taxes. Uber already faces complaints from various governments that it shrinks its tax liabilities onto its drivers, and then the drivers are often non-compliant about paying their taxes. More tax legislation could worsen the problem and will also mean either an increase in ride fares or the end of Uber operations in that particular city or state. Drivers. Uber's drivers face incredible risk when working in cities or countries that have banned the company. In various countries and a few American cities, Uber has been outright forbidden. In others, there is a call for regulation in the industry or for the government to declare the car-sharing app illegal. International risk. As Uber expands outside the United States, it increases its operational risk. In Asia, for example, the ratio of taxis to population are higher than America. Because of this, there is more competition between Uber drivers and traditional taxis. Furthermore, taxi service in Asia is fast, clean, cheap, and in some countries can be paid for via NFC cell phones, negating Uber's competitive advantage of being able to pay for a ride with its app. With more reliable and cheaper service than in America, it seems unlikely that there is a strong market for Uber abroad. As the technology company expands and is met with governmental opposition and protest, it will find it harder to get drivers to compete against established taxi companies. CEO Kalanick wants to continue to navigate the company globally. He also wants to move into what he calls his phase 2, where Uber becomes a lifestyle and logistics company. On July 3, 2013, the company actually made helicopter trips available. Uber has built a relationship with Google, which many speculations point to a future potential for a driverless car. A convenient delivery system for goods and services would definitely fit with Uber's new slogan, where lifestyle meets logistics. Uber has faced many challenges, but has also grown with many opportunities. The company must find a way to settle its ongoing disputes and continuously innovate to remain a leader amongst its competitors. And pertaining to its legal issues, Uber should strongly consider screening their drivers and check for any background history that may be unlawful. I also believe to help eliminate some of their issues would be to make their application lock through emotion so that drivers are unable to text and drive. All in all, Uber has a very promising future and has been and will continue to lead within its industry.